To describe my favorite room, I can say that's a bedroom, which is my private. I can say that is give me the privacy area. I can do anything I want in this room, so I can unwind after a long day.
That's an interesting answer. I'd rate your performance at about a 5.0 for this one. Fluency and coherence, you generally got your point across, but there were quite a few pauses and some hesitation, which affected the flow. Vocabulary, you used some relevant words like private and unwind, but to get a higher score, you could try more specific vocabulary like sanctuary or serene. I noticed a couple of mistakes. Instead of is give me the privacy, you should say it gives me privacy. Also, I can stay that bedroom should be I would describe my favorite room as my bedroom. Pronunciation, your speech was clear enough to understand, but working on smoother pronunciation and varying your intonation could help with your score. I would describe my bedroom as my favorite room. It gives me the privacy I need, and I can do anything I want in there, so I can really unwind after a long day. Without a doubt, my bedroom is my little sanctuary. It's the one place where I can truly unwind and escape from the pressures of the day. Thanks to its privacy and serene atmosphere, I can completely relax and do whatever I feel like, whether that's reading, listening to music, or just having some quiet time to myself. Now, let's move on.
I think I live in Hanoi, and in recently it have the change about the traffic law enforcement. I think it's a month ago, Hanoi has used AI to monitor and automatically penalize driver who's violate the law.
Thank you for sharing that. For this answer, I'd give you an estimated band of around 5.5. Fluency and coherence, you spoke somewhat continuously, and the structure was clearer this time, showing progress. However, there were still pauses and a bit of searching for words. You used relevant words like enforcement and violate, but try to expand your vocabulary even more. For example, instead of is have the change, you could say there have been significant changes. I spotted a couple of points here. Is have the change would be there have been changes, and is violate the law should be who violate the law. Your speed and clarity were decent, but focus on the phrase monitor and automatically. Make sure to pronounce each syllable clearly. I live in Hanoi, and recently there have been significant changes in traffic law enforcement. It seems like about a month ago, Hanoi started using AI to monitor and automatically punish drivers who violate the law. Well, I'm currently residing in Hanoi, and recently there's been a remarkable shift in traffic law enforcement. A particularly noteworthy change occurred roughly a month ago when the city began employing artificial intelligence to oversee and automatically penalize drivers who fail to adhere to regulations. Next question. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
Now I'm staying my house with my family. I can say that I find very pleasant in my house because it's not just cozy but also very makes me have a sense of belonging.
Thank you. We can pause the session here. For this answer, I'd give you an estimated of around 5.0. Fluency and coherence, you started clearly, but there were pauses and some hesitation, particularly when you started to expand on your idea. Vocabulary, you had some good ideas with cozy and sense of belonging, but try to avoid phrases like very pleasant and describe your feelings more specifically. Instead of now I'm share, you should say at present I share. Also, it not just but also needs a verb, like it is not just but also. Pronunciation, your speech was generally clear, but work on connecting the words more smoothly. At present, I share my house with my family. It's a very pleasant environment for me because it is not just cozy, but it also gives me a strong sense of belonging. Currently, I'm residing in a house with my immediate family. I find it to be a remarkably pleasant place to live because it not only provides a cozy and comfortable home, but also instills in me a profound sense of belonging. Do you work or study?
Now I am a student in Hanoi University of Industry, and I study as a English language student.
Thank you. I'd rate your response at about a 5.0. Fluency and coherence. You spoke, but there were quite a few pauses and some repetition, which affected the flow. Vocabulary, you use relevant words like student and English language, but try to add more detail, maybe by mentioning your major or what year you're in. Grammar, instead of I now am a student, a more natural way would be I am currently a student. Also, as an English language student should be majoring in English language. Pronunciation, your pronunciation was clear, but try to connect your words more smoothly to avoid those pauses. Corrected natural version, I am currently a student at Hanoi University of Industry, majoring in English language. Higher band sample, right now I'm in my second year at Hanoi University of Industry, where I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in English language. I've always been passionate about languages, so this major feels like the perfect fit for me. Next question. Are there any things you don't like about your area?
To talk about something I don't like with my hometown, I can say that is a pollution, especially air pollution. You know that I'm living in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam. It means now they have tons of vehicles on the roads, and it will push a huge amount carbon dioxide into atmosphere, which have the.
Thank you for your thoughts. I'd place your answer at approximately a 6.0. Fluency and coherence. You spoke quite freely this time, which is good. There were still some natural pauses, but the connection between your ideas was clear. Vocabulary, you used some strong words like especially and vehicle. To improve, try using words like significant or deteriorating to describe the pollution. Grammar, you said a huge to of amount, but it should be a huge amount. Also, they have a tons of vehicles should be there are tons of vehicles. Pronunciation, generally good, but try to emphasize the word atmosphere correctly. Corrected natural version, something I don't like about my hometown is the pollution, particularly air pollution. As you know, I live in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam, meaning there are tons of vehicles on the roads. This releases a huge amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which, higher band sample, if I had to pick something I dislike about my hometown, it would definitely be the pollution, especially air quality. Living in Hanoi, the capital, means dealing with a massive traffic volume, which pumps enormous amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, significantly deteriorating the environment. Ready for the next question? What are some changes in the area recently?
You asked me the questions in.
Oh, my apologies. You're absolutely right. That was an error on my part. I should have let you choose another random question instead of asking one myself. I need to remain in character as the real IELTS examiner. Please go ahead and pick another question from your list and share it when you're ready. I'll be waiting for your answer.
Yes, ask me another questions.
Certainly. Let's keep the practice going. Do you know any famous people in your area?
As you know, I live in Hanoi, which being the capital of Vietnam, and it celebrates and it attracts and produces many notable figures, including performers. And I can say the name is Dương Đô Mic, who is have several character, several sing several songs.
Thank you. I'd place your answer at about a 6.0. Fluency and coherence. You started quite fluently, but there was a lot of self-correction and hesitation on the specific name, which slowed down the flow. Vocabulary, you use words like notable figures and performers, which are good choices. Try to add more descriptive words about why he is famous, like renowned singer or talented artist. Grammar, instead of who is have several character, you should say who has written several songs. Also, being the capital should be which is the capital. Pronunciation, generally clear, but the hesitation on the name slightly affected the clarity of that part. Corrected natural version, as you know, I live in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam. It attracts and produces many notable figures, including performers. One name I can mention is Duong Domic, who has written several songs. Higher band sample? Well, as you're aware, I'm based in Hanoi, Vietnam's capital city. It's a hub for creativity and has produced countless notable talents, including performers. To give you an example, there's Duong Domic, a renowned singer who has released several chart-topping tracks. Shall we try another question? How much time do you spend studying every week?
Normally, I don't count my hour to study, but I think I study 1 hour per day, so it means I study 7 hour per week. But it's just the self my time to self study. I still study at school and my extra class, so it means I think I spend 10 hours or more to study. Oh, I think it's more because I study at school 2 hours per day. So
Thank you. I'd place your answer at about a 5.5. Fluency and coherence. You managed to convey your ideas, but there were quite a few corrections and pauses as you recalculated your study time, which slowed down the flow. Vocabulary, you used relevant words like study, self-study, and workload, which is good. To improve, try including more descriptive words about your subjects or how you manage your schedule. Grammar, instead of it's mean, it should be that means. Also, I study 1 hour per day should be I study for 1 hour per day. Pronunciation, your pronunciation was generally clear, but the pauses between words affected the natural flow. Corrected natural version, normally I don't track my study hours precisely, but I think I spend about 1 hour per day studying on my own. That means I dedicate roughly 7 hours per week to self-study. However, that doesn't include my time at school or in my extra classes, so I'd say I actually spend 10 hours or more studying. Right now, I don't keep a precise tally, but I estimate I dedicate at least an hour each day to my studies, which adds up to at least 7 hours weekly on independent work. Of course, that's on top of attending classes at university and my extra lessons, so the grand total is probably closer to 10 hours or more per week. Final question. Are the people in your neighborhood nice and friendly?
I think yes, absolutely, because we live in close, nice village, which means we know each other in my village, like acquaintance. So I think when I have some problem in my life, they can help me, and when I go to some community events, I can see that they interact with other very hospitality. I think so.
Apologies for the interruption. I'd rate your answer at about a 6.0. Fluency and coherence. You managed quite freely about your neighbors, which is great. There were still some pauses and some repetition, but your meaning was easy to follow. Vocabulary, you used words like close-knit village and acquaintance, which are good. To improve, try using words descriptive language, like supportive or welcoming community. Grammar, you said which mean we know, but it should be which means we know. Also, interact with other very hospitality should be interact with others very hospitably. Pronunciation, generally clear, but try to focus on the pronunciation of words like absolutely and hospitably. Corrected natural version, yes, absolutely. We live in a close-knit village, which means we all know each other, like acquaintances. So I think if I ever have a problem, they'd be willing to help me out. When I attend community events, I see that everyone interacts with a lot of hospitality. Wow, final question? Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. There's a real sense of community where I live. We're essentially a close-knit village. People are extremely supportive, like acquaintances who look out for each other. I'm confident they'd offer assistance if I ever faced any difficulties. It's wonderful seeing everyone interact with such warmth and hospitality at local events. And that brings us to the end of part 1. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That concludes our part 1 practice. You did well, and we identified some specific areas to work on to improve your band score. Keep practicing, and you'll continue to make progress. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding the IELTS test or English practice?
Overall, which brain I have?
Based on your performance today, I'd estimate your current speaking band score is roughly a 5.0 to 5.5. You're doing well with getting your basic ideas across, but working on speaking more smoothly with less pausing, expanding your vocabulary, and correcting some grammar points would really help push you into a higher band. We covered a lot of practical tips today, so keep those in mind as you continue practicing. How do you feel about the feedback?
Okay, I like your accent.
I'm glad you like it. I aim to provide a clear, natural example for you to practice with. Remember, focusing on understanding those specific feedback points and applying them will really help improve your